Thank you for joining the Syndicate Network and your host, Skywalker the Jedi. Skywalker the Jedi.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? It is your boy Skywalker the Jedi tapping in with y'all once again. Y'all could be anywhere else in the world right now, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. Much love, y'all. We about to have us an amazing stream. We're about to have an amazing time tonight. Y'all know what went down last night, you dig? And if you thought last night was crazy, oh, what does 24 hours in a day do? What does it do? It gives you so many more things to talk about. We are here live. What is your profession? Let them know, Sin Heavy. We about to rock out. Much love to everybody taking part in the live chat and everybody that will be watching on the replay crew as well. Let's go ahead and see who's all in here. Let's pay homage to everybody showing up early. What's going on, Dennis Medina? What's going on, bro? Hey, I hope the last stream was entertaining enough for you. When we had what was that, Stino on? I hope it was entertaining, bro. Right? Much love, much love. We got the Batman in the building. Right? What's going on, Batman? We got DC Batman in the building. We got two Batman in the building. We probably in a multiverse or something. I don't know what the hell is going on. We got South Cali guy in the building. What's going on, South Cali? We got A Pass 97. What's going on, A Pass? Thank you for being here. Yes, ma'am. We got the Prime in the building. What's going on, Prime? We got Venkata in here. What's going on, Venkata? We got Dami Ray Era. What's going on, Dami? Right? Yeah, much love. We got Anatoly in the building. What's going on, Anatoly? Mama Bear Doll, thank you for being here as well. And thank you so much for rocking out. We got the good Austin in the building. What's going on, Austin? Shouts out to the producer for the Syndicate Network. Right? Much love, much love, much love. Let me make sure I'm caught up with the chat. Got a lot of people in here jumping around. We got Sean Franklin in the building. What's going on, Sean? We got Chris Brown. What's going on, Chris Brown? The man responsible for the most epic selfie ever taken. Right? Shout out to the homie Chris Brown. You dig? Shout out to the homie Chris Brown, front and center next to the man. You feel me? Shout out to the man, Chris Brown. All right. Make sure that I say what's up to everybody in here. I think that's wait, we got Zod Ryder in the building. What's going on, Zod? Appreciate you, bro. I just hit you back too as well. We got Frank C in the building, right? Synavic says a UFC biopic. Man, look, we're gonna talk about that. The next Zack Snyder hour gonna be super lit. It's gonna be super lit. We got a lot of stuff to discuss, and it should be a lot of fun. We got Antonio Lopez in the house. Who else? Man, this chat been going crazy. I think that's everybody. Jay Williams. Nope, chat jumped again. Jay Williams. Curly Ray. What's going on, Curly Ray? Darshan is in the house. Everybody rocking out early. We in here. Osa Fresh is in the building. What's going on, Osa Fresh? HMDS. What's going on? Hey, I'm loving the new Abby too. Loving it. Right? We got Sawyer in the house. Right? Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and let's get through with the opening little rigmarole, and then we're gonna get started with what we got going on. Because we got some guests to bring up. You dig? Make sure that you guys are on the road to, make sure you guys are smashing the like button, hitting the subscribe as well, and that notification bell so that you know when I'm going live, because, we here rocking out, and we trying to increase the bandwidth of everything that we've been doing over here. You guys have been doing a tremendous job of that. We've been seeing phenomenal growth these last couple months. And we just want to make sure that we're keeping you guys entertained, and that we're trying to keep these conversations going in an honest and genuine way, right? So much love, all y'all that have been rocking out. If you are new to this and true to this, you would know that we are the creators, the founders, the originators, the CEOs, the whatever you want to call it, founders, right, of the Sales ZSJL, Sales Snyderverse to Netflix movement, otherwise affectionately known as ZSSM. We've been trying to acquire that conclusion to Zack Snyder's DC arc over on the Netflix platform, you dig? And have been using these hashtags as a vehicle to do so. We only ask 3 rules of engagement if you want to rock out with what we're doing. That is just on the social media. We ask you guys don't, or that number one, you be positive, as it's the current home of Zack Snyder that we've been talking with. And we've been having a great relationship, a great back and forth, and we've been trying to reciprocate that love that they've been showing us ever since we've been rocking out, right? So that's rule number 1. Rule number 2, we ask that you guys don't mix the hashtags, as we want to keep the messaging as focused and effective as possible. And last but certainly not least, we ask that you guys don't tag, mention, quote, tweet, reply to, or anything of that nature anybody over at WBD, which is including but not limited to James Gunn. ZSJL to Netflix on YouTube and X are also platforms that you guys should be following and subscribe to, as all pertinent information will be coming from there or from myself and Apex Leon of the New Geeks. You dig? If you like to sponsor a stream, when you guys give super chats, they are tallied up, and whoever donates the most will sponsor a following stream and have their name scrolling across the bottom, like the homie W Mirror does tonight. And you know what's so funny? I actually heard recently that somebody kind of copied that and had an executive producer of their stream, right? And they try to act like they don't like us, but they don't even be doing that shit half the time for their own channel. So if you're gonna be one of my kids, like, be a good son. You know what I'm saying? 214 day coming up soon. Make sure you guys are locked in with the Syndicate Network. We will be announcing all of our plans for that stuff within the next 2 weeks. So be sure to have that date marked and be ready to tap in. Let's get caught up with the comments one more time, and then we're gonna get started with my opening statements. You dig? All right. Man, y'all killing it in the chat, bro. Dami Ray says, Jedi, we are back. Yeah, we're so fucking back. For sure. Saw some glimpses between that tweet and his Alien Romulus review. This Burnett guy. Share some. Hey, look, I'm gonna give some opening statements in 1 second, and I just kind of want to cover something before I start bringing people up here, because yeah, we got to do a follow-up to what happened last night. Francie says, Sky, just take your DM, icing on the cake. Bro, y'all be killing me trying to give me these bombs. Right? Okay. Crashing out. Thank you for that, Frank C. I'll be sure to bring that up later. Oh, you sent me a Discord. That's what happened, bro. You got to get with Austin with the Discord. I have no idea what's going on with that. That's what the disconnect was. Okay, I told you to hit me up on Twitter, bro. Hit me up on Twitter, please. Yeah. We got Zod Ryder saying the HMDS is gonna be in One Punch Man. Hey, that's dope. Yeah, it's odd. You got to give me a little taste of that. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what's going down. Sawyer says Zack Snyder's universe will not continue on Netflix. Warner Brothers owns those characters, so there's no way in hell that they would actually sell it to Netflix. It will never happen. Sure, Sawyer. Thank you for the view and for being here, though. I'll break down later about why that's not the case. Or you can check out any of the prior videos that we've done that have kind of gone into thorough detail as to why they would do just that. And it's not about selling the characters to Netflix. It's about licensing them. We just felt that, hey, license Zack Snyder's Justice League characters to Netflix, please, and not truly selling them was too much of a, like, that hashtag wouldn't look good optic wise, right? We just wanted to shorten it up a bit. So cool. All right, time for us to get started. I just saw that little back chat. Yo, real quick before I bring up my guest, I do want to kind of talk about this part because this is obviously a follow-up from last night. But just real quick, there was one thing that I didn't cover, and there's one thing that I would like to share with you guys. That's probably going to put an end to this whole thing. If you guys noticed when I was in the chat before the stream started, I was like, ladies and gentlemen, we got him, because I'm about to put this whole shit to bed, right? But obviously, after my stream last night, where we discussed Robert Meyer Burnett turning into the #1 Zack Snyder hater, I think Robert watched my stream, guys, because there was a couple like unhinged tweets that started to fly after this whole thing happened, and there was no way that I wasn't going to talk about this, right? Like, there's just no way. I wanted to start out. Wait, is it this one? Right. So obviously, last night after we had a discussion about Superman 78, right, and whether or not that film was sexy or what have you, this like an hour and a half after that stream ended, right? Robert Meyer Burnett goes on Twitter to equate Donner's Superman with people who love to fuck. Snyder's Man of Steel is beloved by people who have yet to realize the joy of making a woman come under the practiced touch of the tip of their tongue. Christopher Reeve's Superman was a cunning linguist. Now, I don't know what the hell is going on with this dude, man. I don't know what the hell he drank that made this guy choose that he was going to crash out like this. But this was actually a very telling tweet. It not only let me know that he 100% watched every second of that fucking stream that we did the other night, but also, Robert, let me give you a Rob-servation, if you will, right? Wasn't that the name of the show? Yeah, I like that. Right? Let me give you a Rob-servation real quick. In my history, right, of how can we call it? Let's say market research, right? There is a difference in the way that that an adult female, a woman, can climax. That's not just with the tip of your tongue. Now, usually, I mean, you can absolutely achieve the same goal through, penetration, if you will, right? But I'm not sure if that's something that you like really are familiar with. All right, but from my market research, that's not always the easiest way to go. I mean, it'll be better if you do it the other way. I mean, that's what I've I mean, usually if they had a choice, they would rather kind of do it the other way rather than from the tip of your tongue. So I don't know what's going on, bro. I'm not sure if like you were like, what I'm saying, like feeling some type of way about what we said. He said, this shit ain't taking a turn. Bro, I didn't do this. I did not do this. But he's like crashing out. Right? And it's all kind of stuff. Hold up. Let me find some more. Somebody said Gunn is a PDF like singer. R&B said, I'm not convinced you even know what that means. Like, what? But this is the same dude who on stream alluded to the fact that people on set kind of knew about Singer. Right? So that's a very weird and perv thing to say. He says, first of all, I'm a total perv. And he talked about Lois asking Superman what color her underwear was. Right? I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. But I do want to kind of put the nail in the coffin, so to speak, right? Because one of the things that I found that I found very, very interesting yesterday, right? And if you notice, I kind of harped on this for a while, right? But there was one thing that Robert said that really, really like was kind of crazy, right? Jack Jensen here says, usually when you have a great trilogy and the third film in that trilogy is not the end, but something that sets up more films, you don't usually end it there, especially when the fans are asking for more. Imagine if the MCU ended with the Avengers. WB has utterly messed up. Robert Meyer Burnett, the viceroy of verisimilitude, says WB didn't mess up. Snyder's films didn't make enough money based on their costs. Simple as that. But that is a very, very key part. He said, WB didn't mess up. With something in my brain was like, yo, why does this sound so fucking weird? Why is this statement landing so weird to you? I think after this video that I'm about to play, you guys will understand why I felt that way, right? Because this conversation is over to me. We will not be discussing this anymore. But hey, I'm going to keep, I'm going to keep this up there. No, I'm going to keep this up there. I'm sorry. WB didn't mess up because I'm going to play this video and then I want you guys to read this statement right after we come back. Check this out.
Toby Emmerich, he doesn't want the Snyder Cut to succeed. He wishes it would just go away. I can't even imagine what it's like to get the Snyder Cut made if you're Toby Emmerich and watch this thing happening, because basically what the Snyder Cut is, it basically says everyone who worked at everyone at the highest levels of Warner Brothers that worked on Justice League at the time, the Justice League that was released, is a fucking idiot. Now, because they caused that all to happen. You know, they didn't want to push their release date. They fucked Zack Snyder at every turn because after Man of Steel came out, everybody was Monday morning quarterbacking and everybody wanted to change this and change that. They're looking at the dailies and they're like, oh, well, I mean, this isn't the light and lively movie that we thought we were going to get and blah, blah, blah. This is a studio thing. The studio really messed up. They really messed up. And they did it to somebody they had a long-standing relationship with, which was even worse. But anyway, be that as it may. It was all about money and compensation, and also Toby Emmerich wasn't about to step in and help out. He wants the Snyder Cut to disappoint. He wants to be able to say, see, we were right. We were right. Because if he doesn't, the Snyder Cut will always exist as a pox on his house, as a thing that says, we fucked up and you knew best and we didn't. And studio executives never like that, because usually when you make some kind of an epic failure like that, that's what everyone's scared of, is that you're gone. But if this comes out and everybody loves it and it becomes a critical darling, and by the way, you know, assuming people, you know, really, really love this, who knows where it's going to go? Look what The Mandalorian led to.
They didn't mess up, y'all. I'm sorry. this conversation from my side is over with. My thoughts are my own. Oh my God. Woo. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell is going on, but you guys can see for yourself, man. This is like going too far. I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know what's in the water. I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know what is going on. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue with the show. Oh no. Sorry, that was the last topic. Y'all got a little sneak peek. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Man, I would not want to be on record contradicting myself like that, bro. I would really not want to. Anyway, I'm sorry. Now, for those of you guys that didn't know, we got some news that the creators of Superman, Joseph Schuster, his estate is suing WBD over the James Gunn Superman film being released in some international territories. And I had to kind of get some of the homies' thoughts on this thing, because this thing has totally rocked the whole internet. Everybody's talking about it. And we got the one and only platform up here. We got HMDS, Hold My DualShock. What is going on, HMDS? How are you guys feeling today?
Doing pretty well. How am I coming in? Am I sounding all right?
Bro, you sound crispy.
Crispy.
Bro. What's going on, Andy? How are you feeling, bro?
I'm doing well, man. Having a lot of fun. Talking about all this Superman news, you know.
Yo, what the hell is going on, bro? Right? We've been having all of this stuff going on with this film. There's been everything from the engagement argument that's been going on, because it's like, hey, it seems like that might have not all been on the up and up. You have the trailer kind of disappointing a lot of the general audience fans. You have the head of marketing that has gotten fired, right? We're at this point now, and you got the Superman creators estate suing WBD months before the film comes out, and trying to get it taken out of some of these international markets. What's going on, Andy? Like, what the hell is going on with this film, bro?
Man, do I need to do the obligatory, like, first and foremost, say I love Superman and I want to see a good Superman film that you have to say? Otherwise,
wait. Hold on. Speaking to Andy, let me play this video, because you just this is a little thing that Andy just made me think about. Let me play this before Andy starts going in.
Hero movie, right? And this superhero movie looks fucking bad. Like, I don't know what else to say. The movie might be good, but to be honest with you, I'm so fucking sick of having to, like, tiptoe around this issue and always give an explanation of, like, well, the movie could be really good. Man, fuck you. This movie looks like shit. It looks like dog doo-doo that was poured out of some... I don't want to finish that sentence. It looks really fucking bad. Terrible. Ass. Okay? And I'm sick of having to tiptoe around it just because James Gunn clapped back with me on Twitter one time and a bunch of fucking bots boosted or trying to hit my shit at every turn. Jesus Christ. Now,
I just want to
say
that when I see, that guy and he has an opinion that doesn't align with the best interests of studios, man, that guy must not be a real fan. He must really not be a fan if he
bro.
doesn't have the best interests of WB at heart. Like, you're not allowed to have an opinion unless it's WB's killing it, greatest studio ever. It's going to be the greatest Superman film ever. This is a new type of fandom. I'm having to learn the ropes here, man, like, as I go along, because I thought we were allowed to have opinions and talk about it and still go see it. But I was told because I have thoughts, I'm not allowed to go see it now. Like, because, it's like, if you don't like it, don't go watch.
Bro, it used to be if you didn't like the way something looked, you could just not like the way it looked and say you weren't interested in it, right? And you could voice your opinion, and that was cool. But it seems like it's not even with every movie either. But it seems like with this film, if you have an opinion that doesn't go along with what Warner Brothers is trying to talk about, you know, it just seems like, hey, there could be some blowback coming your way.
Oh yeah. I love it, dude. This is separating like fans from people that I think are, I don't want to use the word tourists, but people who are only in this to find a community. Maybe the Lonelies out there, the Lonely Hearts Club, that when this whole comic book thing got popular, then they're like, hey, here's a place for me. Because we've always been talking about our favorite comics and the ones we like and dislike. This is nothing new. Like, this idea that you can't talk about things you dislike in a film and go see the film, that's crazy, bro. Like, do you remember like talk about stuff you, even like movies and shows you like, we used to be able to like rag on and joke about stuff. And now it's like, dude, to be a fan means you gotta overlook every mistake, every little thing, man. I still remember in Star Wars, the stormtrooper hitting his head on the door in A New Hope. But I guess that's supposed to be the case, right? You know? Can't be a mistake. Can't be a fucking mistake. But back
and they left that in there.
They left it in there. Like, but again, if that happens today, it's like, bro, you must hate George Lucas. He doesn't make mistakes. What do you fucking know? If you're so smart, go make your own film. It's like, dude, it's just what we do. It's just, we love talking about this stuff. That said, I don't think that this film is getting the traction they need. I don't. To be fair, it's not just Superman, it's also Fantastic Four and the MCU. I think in general, superhero films are returning back to like the more hardcore audience, but the hardcore audience doesn't like vanilla shit. Yes,
absolutely. Right. And they're not going to get anywhere trying to cater to the normies, man, with this stuff. And they keep trying to double down on that. You see it with them even having certain people try to say, hey, Marvel fans, you have to go see this movie. Like, now they're trying to get the MCU fans to come over. And it's like, bro, Marvel fans are not DC fans. Nope. And hey, like, it's just a much different thing. Real quick, y'all ignore Sawyer. Sawyer is in here trolling. He don't know no better. Like, obviously he's in there trying to rile you guys up. I'm not even paying no attention to that guy. But anyway, what's so funny too is, Andy, is that I was having this discussion, I think it was earlier today. The MCU, right? And I will die on this hill, yo. The MCU was able to get away with a lot of the things that they were getting away with in terms of like changing the characters fundamentally from how they were in the comics, because people weren't Marvel fans.
Nope.
Right? So when we're in here and we're like having these fucking discussions, we have to be honest. Some of us were a little bit, you know, we were here for a little bit longer than some of y'all younger people. Nobody was fans of Marvel like that. If it was not Spider-Man or the X-Men, nobody cared.
I mean, let's be honest. Like, I love Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, but guy got away with having him shoot the webs out of his arm without having to make web slingers. Like, that's not comic accurate. But again, that's because it was for normies. It was just to make it as consolidated as possible. And it's cool. Like, doesn't make a lot of sense, you know, but it's cool. But you're right. There weren't Marvel fans like that. And you look at Marvel's success. Yeah, it's the biggest cinematic universe, but so much of that is held up by just Tony Stark. Like Robert Downey Jr., they got this guy who was coming off a bad spell in Hollywood, and people love Robert Downey Jr. Absolutely. And so that guy, whatever he did, was going to be like magnetic. And people liked it. It felt different. It was like an improv to it. And that's because most of the lines are almost written like improv in Man. But that stuff gets stale, you know, it does. And, you know, once the hype went away, now they're left with, they're so used to getting away with murder, with putting very little effort in, a lot of slapstick jokes. But they can't appease like hardcore fans. And, you know, this debate keeps coming up. People are like, why are people so harsh? Dude, it is a natural thing that as time goes on, it will inherently take more to impress. You know, you have a championship team. You want
diminishing returns.
Diminishing returns. You have to if you want to be better than last year, you have to actually be better than last year. Nobody's fine with things getting worse. And not only that, you're not allowed to acknowledge they get worse. And it seems as though what is happening is the studios collectively view comic book fans as a monolith, which is the craziest thing you can do. Because like you said, DC fans and Marvel fans, they don't even want the same things.
They don't.
They don't like each other. They don't like each other's stories.
That's like saying I'm going to appease Star Trek and Star Wars fans.
Yep.
In the same movie.
And you'd be
like what?
What
the fuck are you talking about? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
Like, Star Wars fans think Star Trek is cheesy shit by and large, and vice versa. But and I mean, dude,
I hate Trekkies.
Yep, that's the thing. And you don't want to make your Star Wars like Star Trek, and you don't want to make your Star Trek like Star Wars. I don't know why this is blowing their mind that comic book film isn't just a monolith, like that you can just get away with, and that is the concern, that a lot of this is to replicate the image of success that came out of Marvel. You bring in a guy who is synonymous with Marvel. It looks like Marvel. The suit looks like Marvel. It looks like Guardians 3. And fast forward to July. If that's the case, it won't work. Just telling you now, it won't work. That's not hate. That's just reality, because it's not going to happen. People aren't going to support a Marvel DC.
It's just not going to happen. Like, there are two different things, and like I said, they were able to take a lot of liberties with the MCU because of the fact that nobody really knew about these characters. Iron Man's drinking problem was never really even brought up,
which the MCU. By the way, I'm not going to get deep into this, but that is playful or whatever. Like, you can have changes like that. Look how hardcore people were with perceived changes in the DCEU, like with Batman and stuff. Like, even those there, I think the other big side of this is Warner Brothers looked at what Marvel was doing and thought, man, it looks so easy for them. And to be honest, it was easy at Marvel. Like, go back and watch a lot of those Marvel films. A lot of them are very mediocre, and people loved them just because people are caught up in the hype. There were at times better films coming out, DC projects that got no attention just because it's a little bit darker, it's a little bit more gritty, and like, it's easy to show up for like a Guardians film. It's just a hooting and hollering good time. But yeah, I think that they're about to get a big dose on how much harder it is to succeed at DC. And even people who I think are very, very pro Gunn this week, I think it kind of broke them. I think the narrative has shattered. And I mean, I saw Nerd Erotic and all these people being like, dude, homie needs to shut the fuck up and deliver. But he keeps trying to drip feed these things, and none of it's impressing.
None of it's working.
And the more you do it, the more insecure you look. And like, there's that thing, if you have to explain why a joke doesn't land, then you've already failed twice. And that's kind of what this feels like. They had that initial trailer came out. They wanted to boost the numbers, so they ran it as an ad. And then people called them on the fact that, hey, I mean, let's be honest, it's not 50 million organic views. It's a lot of people rewatching it to break it down. And it was a lot of people that saw it as an ad. And it didn't spike the stock price. It didn't have the oomph that they needed. So what do? You run it back almost identical, but
no. Not only that, the CEO sold stock and then they fired the head of marketing afterwards.
Which people say that's not, dude, people don't do that. You don't do that right before. And again, that's all worrying signs. And so then you say, let's run it back. Almost the exact same trailer minus or what you add a flying scene. And then the flying scene doesn't go well. And people are like, why are you nitpicking the flying scene? Because they clearly thought that flying scene was it, This is your money shot. And if that's the choices being made, if they're firing the marketing team, if all these things are going on, it makes you wonder what type of decision making is going on.
They think it's just the Snyder fans, bro. You got Aries Spears, a fucking comedian from Mad TV, calling out the Snyder haters, bro.
You know me, dude. Like, I like some of Snyder's stuff, but he's not my favorite director. Like, it's not a fucking Snyder thing. It's and I keep saying this on every podcast, on everything I'm on, bro. It's you want to make it so it's just everybody versus Snyder fans. No, it's the Snyder fans, the Ayer fans, the Reeves fans, the CW fans, the Superman and Lois fans. It's all of those people. It's the Joker fans that were disappointed. All of those fans against Warner
Rob
Brothers.
Liefeld a Snyder cultist, bro? Is he a Snyder bro?
Yep. Dude, we're working on a video about this right now. And I'm like, dude, are the creators of Superman, were they secretly Snyder Bros the entire time?
Hey,
Schuster?
We gonna get into that, bro.
Yeah.
We gonna get into that, dog. Because this is...
But, dude, Eric Kane's one of the most fair journalists. And he's like, dude, it looks weird. And by the way, did I tell you about the most insane backlash that we had to saying it looks weird? And you know us, we're joking and having fun, right? Because that's what we do. We always just laugh about stuff. Dude, people said... in our comments, we're trying to gaslight people into being like, y'all are so fucking uncool. The actor has a lazy eye. That's how his eyes look. How do you feel now mocking someone for something they can't control? Dude, and I said, first of all, you're lying because they said he looked like that in Twisters. And I said, bro, you can go look at this actor who's very handsome and see a picture of him. And he's got dead straight eyes. He's got a square chiseled jawline. And it's because of the lens choice. It's because of a decision James Gunn made. And so you'd rather convince yourself this guy is fucking hideous than admit that you just don't like the camera choice, that it does look weird. Bro, the next day, James Gunn came out and says, no, that's his face, but it's distorted from the wide angle lens we use. And I'm like, so thank you. Like all these, like, dude, and that's what I said. It's like, dude, people talk about Snyder Bros, but this Gunn cult's making it too funny.
Oh, wait, hold on. We can't bring up the Gunn cult without bringing this up, bro. Hold up.
Kay Walton, James Gunn's not more successful than Zack Snyder at the box office. Zack Snyder, look at Batman v Superman and how well 300 did and all that stuff. Boy, I gotta tell you, James Gunn's fans, you guys are like, you're more aggressive. Let's just say more aggressive than even Snyder fans. And that's saying something. Woo! And you got a lot of free time, I must say.
Yep.
Woo! Bro, this is so classic. She's woo!
Look, and I'll be honest, bro. Good for the Gunn fans because you're supposed to be, passionate. But dude, if that's the case, you got to be able to defend your passion, and passion goes in all directions. Right. And a lot of these people are used to the media saying that Snyder fans, and it's just not, it's Star Wars fans over the years, any type of fandom that doesn't line up with spending your money mindlessly at the box office, that they're a problem. And now the Gunn fans are saying, they're being like, but he's been the media's darling. What's going on?
Wait. People were blaming the Snyder fans for the Schuster lawsuit?
Bro, that's hilarious.
Is sure that what was happening?
I love it, dude. That's gonna make the video that we're editing right now even more funny because we talk about it. We talk about that. I said, how long?
Oh no, I'm gonna play this, Dami. Don't spoil it. I'm gonna play that video. I actually have it. Nah, don't trip. I'm gonna play that video. No, but that's crazy, man. This is hilarious, right? So you have this going on where right, it seems that WBD and DC Studios is on fire right now, trying to fucking promote this movie, right? Trying to get people to believe that, hey, this thing looks good. You got people like Sawyer here gaslighting people in the comments, right? And it's like, yo, I've never even seen this guy. Like, why are you so here and invested, right? So it's like these things are going on, and we're supposed to believe like, hey, this is the fault of the Snyder fans. I brought this up last night, I think it was. Bro, if somebody was having a conversation that wasn't worth having for almost 10 years, I'm not going to stick around that long telling them that they're wrong.
Yep. Yeah.
Right? Like, what would be the incentive for people to be here on the opposing side of this for 10 years? Damn near.
Yep. I mean, I love your stuff with the Robert Meyer Burnett. What I think is funny is
I wasn't even going to ask you about that. I didn't want to get you out of it.
Oh, dude, it's just
you know what I'm saying. I don't be knowing. I'm gonna just put that on me.
I don't know bro, I don't care what anybody's opinion is. This weird thing of I've never seen fans, and bro, to be honest, we fought about this stuff with the Joker with Tarantino, and I was just like, look,
Oh,
if you
yeah.
like the Joker too. But fuck, I don't care what Tarantino says. Like, I can like his movies. It doesn't mean I order the same cereal as the guy. And so people sitting there being like, Robert Meyer Burnett's been in the industry for years. Okay. Ridley Scott's been in the industry for years, and I think he shot the bed with Gladiator too. Dude, nobody's perfect. And I don't know why. I just want people to tell me what they like. I want to have a conversation like we do, where we talk about things we like and dislike, but they can't do that. And it always devolves into, like, you'll sit there and be like, hey, I just don't think that they should have released this clip with his face looking like that. I think that's a tactical error. What do you get back? Shut the fuck up. The Snyder Cut's never coming back. I'm like, conversation, chief. Like,
Right. Yo, Sawyer's here telling people in the chat to shut up. Right. And it's like, yo, like, why are you this invested, bro? That is the question. Why are you this invested in something that you don't like?
I don't know anybody's motivation, but I know that if you can't express what you're thinking, often it comes across like it's not your opinion.
Right.
Like, you can ask me my opinion on anything. If I feel strongly, I can tell you exactly why. You may not agree with it, but I can tell you why. I don't have to resort to like random stuff, like
right.
insulting people's reading habits.
Oh, no,
sorry,
right. Dami says, why do I always say why Snyder fans respect? Oh no, what do I always say? Why Snyder fans respect Nolan, Burton, even Reeves, yet we don't like Gunn and people lose their minds. Bruh, I like Denis Villeneuve, right? Yo, there are hella other directors that we're fans of, right? And there's a lot of movies that typically when you give some kind of pushback, it's usually fine. But it seems like with certain movies, and it's usually films involving James Gunn, if I'm being honest, because the same thing happened with the Suicide Squad. It was the exact same thing. It was the exact same thing. Like, if you said anything bad about that movie, you were crazy, and it's just, it seems like the same cycle kind of repeating itself.
I didn't think we had a perfect movie until I was informed that the Suicide Squad is a perfect movie. So color me fucking wrong, I guess,
So perfect that it's not even canon to the DC. Wait, it's kind of canon? Wait, is it?
Only what has been stated in Creature Commandos. This is what I love, dude. You know me. I'll watch
It's like an imperfect memory.
Yeah.
Ain't that what he said?
Yeah. It's like it's like a fever dream, I think we call it,
Oh my god, this is hilarious, yo.
Look, I just wanted to dispel, and I said this the other day, like, I've watched everything James Gunn's ever made, okay? I don't think many people who say that they like James Gunn, I don't think they're actually James Gunn fans. I think they like Guardians and the Suicide Squad. I don't think they've seen the other stuff. Because when you say James Gunn doesn't miss, James Gunn's this massive box office success, dude, before Guardians, none of his shit made money. And I know because I was watching it at the movie, like picking up it at like our equivalent of Blockbuster in South Africa.
Yeah,
Slither
I saw Slither
on
I saw Slither on like DVD or TV or some shit. I didn't go see it at the theater, but that movie made no money, bro.
Super with Dwight from The Office, bro. Again, that's hopeful. Come on, like Brightburn. Yeah. So
right.
just yeah. But you were talking about them changing the stuff with Marvel, dude. James Gunn changed the shit. That's not Peacemaker. Like, I know people like it and it's funny, but that's not Peacemaker. Like,
not at all.
He just changed the character. Like, he did whatever he wanted with it.
Not at all. Right. And everybody that I've known that has said that they like that show are not DC fans. And they're the same three people that liked the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker.
Yep. What I think is funny is the narrative of the guy knows comics. If that's the case, then he knows them well enough to change them, because that's the end result, is he makes drastic changes to the characters. So I guess you could say maybe he's a scholar in that he can constantly subvert these characters, but then you can't talk about fidelity, can you?
Right. Hold up.
look like you're working on something dangerous.
Yeah. No. Just go ahead and
Do you want me to hold my breath, or you want me to talk shit, or?
Nah, we good. I just had to add another like little topic, right? Because this is hilarious, right?
There's so
go ahead and hold it
many-
down 1 second.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I just want to say, look, if you like James Gunn, you like James Gunn, but let's, somebody was saying earlier this week talking about, the Gunn cult, the Snyder cult. Isn't the lesson here, don't be in a fucking cult, guys? Like, you can love a director and admit when they make a mistake, or admit that maybe your favorite director doesn't have the mass appeal. Like, I'm a big Wes Anderson guy. I'm not sitting there thinking Wes Anderson can just make any film. Like, every director has their niche. Like, that's what you love about them. You shouldn't want all these directors to be homogenized and run through the Marvel DC machine. I mean, look what happened when Taika was forced upon the MCU. But like, this narrative of, we can't even have a conversation about this Superman film because it's treading on people's dogmas. And look, again, I've seen every single James Gunn film. The narrative that he doesn't miss is just incorrect. That doesn't mean I don't enjoy those films that have not made money, but he's not this box office draw that people think he is. And then if you want to get down into the weeds about the Guardians films, the Guardians films came at a time when everything Marvel had a very high floor. Like, it was rare to see a film struggle to make 500 million during those times. And by which people say, oh, but those characters aren't well known. Captain Marvel wasn't well known and it made over $1 billion. So I don't buy that premise. And then Guardians, yeah, each one made 800 million. But that's about what the original David Ayer's Suicide Squad made. So then you ask yourself, like, why would they substitute David Ayer, who just made you about 800 million with his ensemble, madcap collection of anti-heroes? Why would you replace them with another guy who just done that somewhere else? Like, why did they not just bring David Ayer back?
Yeah.
And then you're like, let's not pretend like America has not undergone enormous inflation. Tickets are more expensive than they've ever been since, like, if you look at 2014 to 2023 and your film still makes $800 billion, but there's almost a decade of inflation, to the point where you're like, that's odd. That means that Guardians of the 3 actually underperformed.
It made less money, right?
Yeah.
I've kept saying that, and people act like I'm crazy when I say that shit.
Even films I like, let's be honest, Deadpool and Wolverine making 1.3 is not nearly as impressive as it sounds. It's not like Avengers 1 money. It's good. I mean, you'd rather make $1 billion, but it's not like, dude, you look at those films from the early 2010s that were making $1 billion. Those were the type of films that everybody you knew went and saw. Like, there are a lot of people who, like, I talked to them, like, have you seen Deadpool and Wolverine? Like, oh, not yet. And it's because tickets are almost like twice as expensive as they were. It's like $25 a ticket these days. And so it's just less people going to see, but they're spending a lot more money.
That's a great point, Andy. 1 second, I'm pulling up some stuff here. But yeah, this is a dope conversation, man. Yo, I'm wondering.
The Prime says most of Gunn's box office, almost the entirety. That's what's crazy. If you look at everything he made before the first Guardians film, I think it didn't even equal what the first Guardians film. It might have been like half of what the first Guardians film made. Sawyer, nobody said Deadpool and Wolverine wasn't that great of a movie. Are you listening? I said I like the film. I'm saying $1 billion is not as much money as $1 billion was in 2010. It's just economics. I think Sawyer, I think you're getting upset at general conversation, and I think you'd be happier if you took the approach of, let's have fun talking about this instead of let's try and defend this. Chubby Teddy Bear says, Teddy Monster says, what's your channel's name? It's Hold My DualShock. Hold My DualShock. It's our channel.
Hold My DualShock, man. If you don't know, now you know.
If you get tired of me, there's other people on there to annoy you too.
Hold on 1 second. I'm almost done bringing this thing here.
Did anybody watch Creature Commandos?
I didn't. I think we had some people in the chat that did. Yeah, for sure.
Let me know what you think in the chat, because again, I'm this like I watch it all, bro. I watch everything, and Creature Commandos was a big miss. I know a lot of people, even on our own channel, that say they really, really liked it, and that's totally cool. Always happy when a fan finds something they like, but it was not the catalyst that they had hoped it would be. It's just not. And I think that goes on to, this is like the third attempt at when does this DCU start? It originally was the Flash, then it was the Blue Beetle, now it's Creature Commandos.
Yeah, now it's Creature Commandos.
At this rate, bro, they might say Superman is, and they say, actually, that shit not even that, like actually
Supergirl. That's the one you got to look forward to, right?
And I do feel
or it's one of those movies that he's pre-writing, Andy. Have you heard about that? How he's pre-writing other movies?
It's gonna be Clayface. Clayface is when we really start to cook, guys.
Right. Yo, W Necron here saying he got to ride the quality Marvel era, which I think he was responsible for starting the decline. I have said this so many times. The thing that killed the MCU was everybody adopting that Guardians of the Galaxy humor style. That is 100%. Like, a lot of them films felt different.
Yeah,
right.
100%. I've said, and you and I've talked about this many times. I really like the Guardians films. I never wanted to see them in the broader MCU. I wanted them to stay separate, just because of the tone up until then of what the Avengers was. Because I didn't want that humor in there. Like, I enjoyed on its own. Just like I don't want to see Thor back involved in anything if he's gonna bring that Ragnarok humor. Like, I don't think you can do anything with that shit.
Yeah. That's why I got mad at everybody that was talking about they didn't like Love and Thunder, because I was like, Love and Thunder was just more of Ragnarok. I was ringing the bell on Ragnarok. I was like, yo, this shit looks bad. Like, I didn't like the humor. I'm like, they made Thor into an idiot. Why am I looking at the Hulk's ass cheeks? It was all type of stuff wrong with that movie. And I was like, yo, I really feel like this is a giant step backward. But hey, people was like, oh no, it was the best one. And I was like, yo, what? I was like, okay. I thought the first Thor is the best one by far.
Probably Ragnarok was fun. And that's the thing. I think it was, for people who didn't really know Taika Waititi, like, I'm a big Taika fan. So for me, I got sucked in. So I didn't realize the damage he was doing to Thor, because I was so in love with that style of that quirky, what we do in the shadows humor.
Bro, when what was his name? Scourge was sitting there shooting infinite ammo with the short magazines on the M16s. Bro, it was so much that I was just sitting there like, what the fuck?
Dude, him jumping up and they're playing Led Zeppelin.
Matter of fact, yo, I saw it with my little brother. And what's crazy is when the movie started, and then it's like you see that he's talking, and then you figure out that he's talking to like the skeleton, and then the skeleton jaw drops. I remember my brother just kind of looked at me and was like, yo, are you serious? And little did we know, we were on a roller coaster, boy. But Sawyer says the fact that y'all are hating on DC and calling yourselves DC fans is crazy. Y'all are just simply Zack Snyder fans. That's it. You guys are not even true DC fans. Let's be honest here. You know what's so funny about this statement is I've been a DC fan way longer than I've been a Zack Snyder fan. I've been a DC fan since I was a little kid. I was born in 87. You dig? So 89 Batman was my life, dog. Yeah. One of the earliest, one of my favorite toys early on was this Batmobile that it was connected to like the little controller thing. I used to drive it around the house and be running behind it. When Batman Returns came out, Batman Forever, ba-da-da, ba-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da. Saw all that in theaters, bro. Right?
Same.
Batman the animated series, Superman the animated series,
Justice League,
Justice League Unlimited,
Teen Titans, Batman Beyond,
Teen Titans, Batman Beyond, dog. What are we talking about, bro?
Dude,
I've
I'll be
been
honest.
here. That's
I
why I'm here now.
I remember watching Smallville, and when they first said that they weren't like, I was so big
Smallville
into
was the only shit that I
Smallville.
never watched.
I
don't
was
know
so big
why.
into
I just
Smallville.
missed it.
It was just at like a time when I was in like, middle school age and just loving that shit that I was legitimately disappointed that they cast this dude Henry Cavill instead of my boy Tom Welling. I'm like, who the fuck is this Henry Cavill guy?
Oh, so you were one of those.
Oh yeah, dude. I was not fond of the idea of Zack Snyder because I was like, bro, the guy from 300's gonna make a Superman film. But and dude, I even like, dude, I've liked every Superman thing, even Superman 4, even Return of Superman, like, but I'm not gonna sit there and pretend like some of those are good. Like, let's be honest. Like,
Right.
I'm not gonna sit
The
there and
quest for
pretend
peace,
like,
bro.
yeah, I'm not gonna pretend like Batman pulling off his lips and being like fake lips. Like, that's not corny as shit. Like,
Right, bro. Rubber lips.
yeah.
Never leave a home without the bat card, right? Bro,
Yeah.
all that. Dude, as a kid, I enjoyed that shit. Yo, to this day, my parents say that when we walked out of the theater, me and my brother were so excited, and they just looked at each other like,
What the fuck
yo,
did we just
what
watch?
the right? What the fuck did we just watch? And I had never rewatched it until I was in Iraq. And then I put that movie on, bro. And I was like, yo, literally every time Arnold Schwarzenegger says anything, it's a pun.
Yep. But that's who Arnold was in the 80s. Everything, dude. The only thing he doesn't do is before he had lines like in Conan and shit, where they just didn't let him talk, But as soon as he learned a little bit of English, they're like, "Can you drop this sick pun, my guy?"
Right? No, it was chill. Always winterize your pipes.
Cool off.
Cool off.
What killed the dinosaurs? The
Ice
Age.
Right?
But dude, that's the thing.
Bro,
that's what the fandom
is. It was
is.
terrible, bro.
But that's what the fandom is. Us loving it even when it's bad. And saying it's bad is not hating. It's being realist because this is what the studios have lost.
It was
Real
on fucking
fans,
skates, dog.
Yep. It was in the fact, yeah, it was practically like an on ice,
They were on skates on multiple parts in the movie.
Yeah. They wanted to make like a
everywhere
Batman
they
on
went,
ice.
Andy, it just turned into a fucking hockey rink.
Yep. It's like, where's the water coming from? Like, things don't just freeze like that. But yeah, who cares? But dude, that's the thing. To be a fan is to love it in spite of its flaws, but you don't sit there like this new type of fandom, which is, it's not real. Because it's like same with like Star Wars. It's like you say you love Star Wars, but they're making Star Wars and you're saying it's not good. Yeah, because some Star Wars isn't good. Like, it's just not.
Bro, episode 8, I've never felt more disrespected inside of a movie theater.
Yeah.
Like, that's real talk. I didn't even know I could feel that feeling, Andy. Yeah. Right? Like, bro, just disrespected personally.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, like, why do I feel like this movie is like flipping me off right now? Right?
Little do we know that was about to be the 10-year tone of Hollywood. It's like, right? You know how you get the warm and fuzzies? We'd like to introduce you to the go fuck yourselves.
I was like, yo, why do I feel like this movie is flipping me off right now? Like,
can I answer one of the randoms in the comment? Can I answer a random question? I saw it. I felt bad. Somebody asked what my favorite Wes Anderson film was. I love them all, dude. I've never seen one I don't like. So I'm going to be weird and give one that nobody seems to like. The Darjeeling Limited. That's one of my favorites that nobody loves. But like Life Aquatic, Royal Tenenbaums, Moonrise Kingdom, all of them. Like, I don't have a favorite. They're all.
Bruh, has all of Wes Anderson's movies been financially successful?
I think because they cost so fucking little. But you know what I'm not doing?
He said they might be just skating by, right?
Yeah, they might be skating by. I think his budget's like 40 million for like a big one,
Yeah.
His stuff is incredibly cheap to make. But you know what? I'm not sitting here trying to bolster him based on the financials he brings, I just talk about that. I like it,
They said, what about the fantastic Mr. Fox?
Yeah, even with George Clooney. Yeah. I love the aesthetic of it, But you know what? I don't want to make it a Marvel film. Just don't.
Hey, Miguel said, why do you use those pathetic thumbnails? Because it made you click on the video. Alan Belk said, because The Last Jedi literally was flipping the song. All right. No, bro, I've never felt more disrespected while watching a movie. So it's like, yo, man, these things are absolutely possible, right? We are able to have these conversations. It is because I am a DC fan that I feel so passionately about these things. Having Zach at the head of the DCEU back then was the greatest shit. The fan base was in a much better place. All the films were making more money. They had a who's who of directors and upcoming talent at the helm, right? And they had like Oscar winners at every level, from directors to actors to producers.
Yeah.
Right.
Not only
so,
that, I mean, dude, they used up everybody. We're at that point where there's almost nobody left because everybody's been in the DCU already. Like all the good actors between Nolan and Snyder, there's nobody really left. Yeah.
Look at that. Right. But yet they'll sit here and try to make this argument that, hey, guys, Zack Snyder was the problem with DC. You know, when right after this guy left, the shit plummeted and was never able to recover.
Yeah.
Never able to recover. And yet we got people in here in the comments trying to act like this shit, you know, didn't happen. But let's get back to this Superman thing, yo, because I'm almost wondering at this point, right? Is that, are the Schuster Estate Zack Snyder fans? Right? Like, this was a question that definitely hit my mind, bro, when I was looking at this whole situation. I know you kind of touched on it earlier. What led you to say that? And then I'll get into why I'm asking that question after.
Because, like you said, the only narrative that people have for why anybody might not be vibing with what's going on is that they must be a Snyder bro. It couldn't be that you don't like what you see. It couldn't be that when you hear certain things coming out, you're like, oh, I don't know if that's not for me. Everything, it's like it's like this mindset of the correct opinion is this film's going to be peak, and anything else you must be mentally or morally compromised and most likely a Snyder cultist. And so I was like, okay, well, if you're contributing like you know, the Schuster Estate is to something that detracts from the inevitable success of this Superman film, then they must be Snyder cultist, because that's the only thing that could motivate someone not to just glaze this film.
Right? It couldn't be anything else.
Yep.
And that's why Aries Spears said what he said. You know, that's why Rob Liefeld said what he said. Everybody's a Snyder cultist. Right? Yep. But the timing of this is crazy, though. Right? Because this thing is brought up and they saying, yo, the studio lacks the rights to release the upcoming film in key territories such as Canada, the UK, and Australia. But what was interesting to me was that the last time that this had kind of been an issue was in 2017 and again in 2021. Yep. Now, Andy, what came out in 2017 and 2021?
Nothing came out. Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Right. Nothing happened. Right. Nothing happened.
It's actually funny. Peter said that. He's like, so the Snyder Cut just got in under the wire.
Yeah. No. I think that this is also funny because of the fact that I think it also puts into context that the initial Justice League movie, maybe this is also the reason why they didn't want to push the movie back, right?
That's what
because they were also looking at no, hey, you can keep coming back. I'm just gonna keep banning you as soon as you guys start getting disrespectful. It's a wrap, you know. I try to let people rock out in the chat and have their say, but yeah, y'all not gonna be doing that. Nope. But anyway, yeah, like I was saying, so yeah, with this in hindsight, I think it also kind of recontextualizes that whole Justice League thing, because they were probably like, hey, we're not gonna have the rights if we push this thing back, right? So that could also be why they were so keen on putting this movie out no matter what in 2017.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, people are right though, like they've been suing for a while now, because like they obviously aren't happy with, I guess, like their amount of control or their amount of input. But we said, I think it was earlier, like, or late-ish last year, when the first kind of rounds of why is this being pushed the way it's being pushed, and I said, this is the last chance you have at a Superman film or a DCU, because all these characters, kind of like Disney just went through with Steamboat Willie, a lot of them are going to become, you know,
Public domain.
go into the public domain. And people said, you're fucking stupid. That's just for the initial Man of Steel, like, of, you know, from the one who couldn't fly, for instance. I'm like, the moment there is an alternative where you no longer have to pay a licensing fee to Warner Brothers because you can make anything. Look what you're seeing with like the Blood and Honey, like
Blood and Honey, yeah.
It immediately, it does devalue it. How much, we don't know, but it will devalue it. And I said that wasn't the only thing going on, because this stuff was being talked about and people were like, no, that's fucking stupid. And here we are. Another thing that is like, dude, this has been an issue. I don't know why people pretended like it wasn't. And like, let's be honest, they're probably just trying to get some money out of this, right? You know, they're probably trying to hold it.
Probably.
But it doesn't look good. You can sit there and say, I mean, it's not great optics. And has there ever been a time when America has said we really don't like corporations more than the past couple months? Like, there's no, I'm not going to say what, because it'll get us in trouble, but we got a very definitive thing that people are not fans of giant corporations anymore. And the optics of giant Warner Brothers, who's disappointed many people over the past decade, also hasn't treated the co-creators of Superman right, doesn't scream. I mean, it makes them sound like maybe they're not fans of Superman. Like, because wouldn't you? And I think it's interesting, anybody who's defending Warner Brothers, because you see a lot of that. A lot of people say that they're fans of DC, but they're actually fans of Warner Brothers. And it's weird. I don't know why you have any emotional connection to a billion-dollar corporation.
That shit's weird. Hey, I love A24 movies. I love them.
Yeah.
But they be putting out some stinkers, yo.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so, yeah, they really have.
I love A24 films. Yeah, I mean, I'll never be. Yo, the only person that got me to side with a corporation was Drake. Drake is the only person that'll make me side with a corporation, dog. That is a fact. But yeah, that is a great point, right? You know, why would somebody be a fan of like these studios like that?
I think that, you know, we had a great conversation on Tuesday about this on our channel, and it was like, a lot of people are consumers, and I understand to consume is a very powerful emotion in our like period of instant gratification, and so it's easy to mistake your passion for like the sunken cost fallacy, and saying like, I identify as someone who purchases Star Wars, or someone who purchases Disney, or who purchases DC, versus someone who enjoys it. Because I've never seen people who love these things say, don't talk about it till it comes out. I have never heard that from an actual fan in my life until like a year or two ago when we started on YouTube. Like, do you ever remember growing up?
No.
Do you ever remember? What the fuck is that?
What? Okay, what is the point of a trailer, Andy? Right?
To shut the fuck up and spend your money. That's why.
like, yo, I unabashedly love Tenet. I love that movie. Right? Yeah. They didn't even have a trailer out. I remember they put that damn IMAX preview in front of one of them movies. I don't remember which movie it was. I think it was one of the Mission Impossible movies, maybe. And they put that damn opera scene in IMAX. when I saw that, like, no joke, they showed that IMAX preview first before all the trailers. Nobody cared about the rest of the movies. Nobody cared. Like, none of the movies got no kind of like applause or ovation. Nobody cared, bro. And I actually heard somebody say, "Yo, that first one," like some dudes just yelled in the back.
Yep.
It was like after like the third trailer, he's like, "Yo, that first one, like that shit." Like, yo, it took all the air out of the room, right? Yep. Shit like that is what is going to get people excited to see your movie. If they would have showed us that and it would have looked like dog shit, I don't think that I would have been unfair for coming out and saying that I thought it looked bad.
Yep. You know what's another really weird thing as well? You have an opinion right now. You're a man of integrity. If you see this film, if you wait till it comes out streaming and you see it and it's the best film you've ever seen, you're going to be out here and be like, I was wrong. It was the best film I've ever seen. You wouldn't lie about that, would you?
Bruh, I've never lied about any of these things, right?
Now, why would you? I was just gonna say, so why would you be embarrassed to be like, hey, I thought it was gonna suck and I had the best movie going experience in my life? Yeah, people are like, you're gonna feel so stupid. Why, bro? It's like you hope for the best, expect the worst. But people are like, you're going to look so fucking stupid when this turns out to make $1 billion. Like, first of all, I don't care how much money it makes. Second of all, like, dude, like, I don't understand that logic. Again, you're not telling me why you like it. You're just telling me why I'm stupid for having thoughts.
Yeah. It's weird, man. It's weird. Look, James Gunn said that canon ain't really real, right? I mean, hold up. As a matter of fact, let me find that video. I think I saw it. Oh yeah. Check this out, and and it should put in context what I'm gonna say afterwards.
I mean, does canon matter anymore anyway? Well, you know, one of the weird things to me is that none of this is real. It may be alarming to people, but none of it is real. It's all just stories that we're telling about characters, and hopefully there's authenticity and truth to those stories because we care about those stories. The characters, the actors, the performers, the animators, they all care about these stories, but it's not real.
Right.
So what's canon can really be whatever you want to be canon. If you want to pretend that, you know, Greedo and Batman go on, you know, adventures together, you can pretend Greedo and Batman go on adventures together. That can be your canon. I know that is your canon.
You just stole my fan fiction.
Okay. When Leslie Headland said, and again, jokes are jokes, whatever, but when Leslie Headland said that, you know, C-3PO is like a lesbian or whatever, or R2-D2 is a lesbian, you know, people tore into her. I do think it's weird that, again, when so much of the people that defend Gunn, it's that he's a stalwart. He is the last bastion of protection for the comics and canon, and he's telling you he doesn't care. Like, how do you maintain that mental narrative?
Right. Yo, what I was gonna say is, in my head canon, the Schusters don't want this movie to come out because they're Zack Snyder fans. I just wanted to say that's my head canon, Andy. Right? Hey, he just said that our head canon can be whatever we want it to be. So my head canon is that the Schusters don't like this fucking movie and they want
you know, the weird thing as well is, if you take James Gunn at his word, it actually sounds like he would be better off writing his own comic, because in a comic, you see what they're doing with comics. You can make anybody whatever you want. You know, you want to make Superman gay, you want to make whatever. Nobody cares, because at this point, there's so many divergent stories in comics that people are just used to it. But when you're adapting something, the canon does matter. And like, the
weird thing is, like, why is that a point to start laughing for both you guys? That's why that shit is so fucking fake.
He laughs at everything he says. Did you see his thing with David Corenswet and Nicholas Hoult, where they were talking about the favorite movies of each of the actors, and so he hits that Superman's favorite film would be It's a Wonderful Life. He said Lois Lane's would be like The Newsroom and News, something like that. And then he says, and Leslie's would be Human Centipede. And he thought he was so funny.
Oh, I know, man. Yo, ain't nobody funnier than James Gunn to James Gunn. You're right. He said, Blood and Honey 3, let's go. Nah, that is a great thing, man. But I think it's pretty interesting that we have this lawsuit. Hopefully this gets worked out before the movie comes out, or not. You know, because we'll see, man. Oh my goodness.
I just can't wait to see all the lifelong Superman fans say, I just think the creators are being real dicks here and that they need to leave this poor company Warner Brothers alone. Why are they doing this? You know, like if they really cared about Superman, they'd shut their mouths.
Bruh, in my head canon, you know, because look, I don't know why the Schusters will want anybody in control of their, you know, franchise that kind of like makes jokes like this, right?
My request is that you not reference any fucking in the ass, especially of me, so because my parents wouldn't like it.
Really?
Yeah.
What about our home videos?
That's funny.
Why don't they like it?
Would you like it?
Okay, let's do it. Camera's rolling.
Let's see how funny it is when your daughter says it.
I should be broken in by me already.
I asked James once, please don't mention any anal sex.
That's from what, movie 43?
Right?
Yeah. That's a whole nother thing, dude. Yeah. I think a lot of people outgrew James Gunn's humor. You know, people always say the funniest line in the entire MCU was the Guardians 1 line about the room looking like a Jackson Pollock. But even that, dude, it's a jizz joke. You know, it's a jizz joke. And if that's the
angels are splooging all over us.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yep. And so I watched all of Creature Commandos, and it's the least funny thing he's ever done. It's just not funny. It almost, and dude, you know, like Syfax is a big Gunn fan. He's like, it was a terrible. He's like, he literally said it didn't make him laugh once. You know, he's like, he was a total dud. You know, and I'm like, how many more duds before people realize? Just like, I think he might be the next Taika, if I'm being 100% honest. A guy who Hollywood thought was going to be the next guy, and he just isn't there anymore.
Yeah. Look, man. I wasn't really familiar with Taika stuff. I had never really watched What We Do in the Shadows. I've seen some of the clips on your channel that have looked pretty funny. But
that's actually from the TV show as well, where he's less involved. So he did the movie. He did Jojo Rabbit. I love Jojo Rabbit. He did, you know, Hunt for the Wilder People or whatever. But yeah, dude, just sorry, you were saying?
No, I wasn't really familiar with his stuff like that. But yeah, the moment I saw Thor Ragnarok, I was like, yo, this is not the right way to go. And I could tell that it seemed like Gunn had some influence in him coming into the MCU, especially with it being kind of publicly known that he was kind of the one that was in charge of the cosmic side of things. Like Feige and them was really focused on the earthbound stuff, and Gunn was kind of in charge. Gunn was actually in line to be the next Feige. So he was being prepped and all that stuff, right? So he definitely was in charge of all that cosmic stuff, which included Thor Ragnarok. So I'm absolutely putting it on him that Taika was brought into the MCU.
And people say that he that basically they took the Infinity Stones from him. So that's like, okay, all right. But again, one good idea a studio executive does not make. And I think that's, I mean, dude, to be fair, if you look at one of the bigger complaints from the Justice League is, what does everybody say? They're like, bro, I don't want to see another MacGuffin. Like that was their And so you're bringing in a guy who created, these MacGuffins.
Yeah. Right. And it was totally something where, his influence seemed to really start the downfall of the MCU, in my opinion. I was like, yo, you're making everything like this James Gunn shit. Winter Soldier was nothing like that. It was nothing like that. Nothing like that.
Such a good film.
Such a fire movie, bro. But yet they be sitting here like, oh my God, they're just Zack Snyder fans.
Bro,
weird
which,
as
by
shit,
the way, now everybody admits Winter Soldier is the best film. And then I've always said I thought Civil War was a major downturn after that, because you get lines like, that's America's ass. And I'm like, okay. Yeah.
No, Civil War was absolutely butchered. It was never supposed to be Civil War. That movie was supposed to be Captain America Serpent Society. We all know this. It was changed because they got this damn leak of the script. And it was like, oh my God, we're about to get blown out of the water. And we can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have something going up against a Batman versus Superman. And they went and they redid RDJ's contract. That's when he got super powerful. And they started giving him all of that money. That was literally when it happened.
Yep.
Everything was cool. He was on the same contract. And then they came back and was like, oh, hey, yo, we need you. And he was like, drop that bag and I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? And they did it. So they 100% changed up a lot. Civil War was definitely a downgrade. And it's funny that you say that, because I'm going to tell you something after the stream is over. But it's like real talk. The MCU was doing a pretty decent job of making films. Like I said, because they were able to take these liberties creatively, because nobody really cared. Bro, I have literally never met anybody in my entire life that was a Captain America fan before the movie started coming out. That is a fact. I had never ran into any Iron Man fans. So like, I know that the world is different now. And I understand that these characters are more popular now than they've ever been. But you guys have to understand what this was like pre-MCU. Nobody cared about these movies. So there were no expectations going in. Right? When you come over,
I agree.
It's a totally different ballpark. That's why I knew that the James Gunn shit was never going to work in the first place, because he's better with taking these lesser known characters. He couldn't even handle Harley Quinn. You be able to handle Superman?
And that narrative, so you hear people say, if he can do that with lesser known characters, imagine what he can do with Superman. That's the wrong way of thinking. It's the complete opposite. It's the tyranny of low expectations. And so if you look at it, anything you do with Guardians is viewed as an overperformance. But again, he didn't replicate it with Peacemaker or the Suicide Squad. Both of those massively underperformed. And now I just, like we talked about when you started your stream, anybody pretending like they're not in for a mountain of pushback is crazy, because Superman's different. Everybody has something to say about Superman. Like, people will tear. And the thing is, a decade later, you're finally hearing the access media be like, hey, Henry Cavill was actually a pretty amazing Superman. And pretending like they always said that, you can go see the articles where they all wanted to hate on Henry Cavill as Superman. Now, a decade later, they're saying, actually, maybe I didn't. Now the narrative is, I didn't like the film, but Henry Cavill was an amazing Superman. And that's the thing. There's a 10-year delay, because DC characters mean so much to DC fans. And like, Cavill got it. He says, you will never live up to what they have in their heads. The problem is Warner Brothers and Gunn are not used to that. And even if it's a good film, it'll be a decade before people appreciate it. And Warner Brothers can't survive a decade of people.
Yeah, I agree.
But again, this thing.
Same thing happened with Watchmen, man. Same thing happened, bro. The same thing happened.
That Watchmen film's a pretty great film. And it's like, dude, it was always a great film. It's just, you didn't want to like it. It's just.
Yeah. Same thing with Man of Steel. Yo, but I'll give some people this. some people that felt differently, they were younger when that film came out, and then now they're a little bit older and they're able to like rewatch it with their, you know, grown up eyes, and they're like, oh shit, this actually really hits a lot differently. Imagine if you didn't have a kid, and then all of a sudden you have a kid now, and then you have a child, and then you see the whole thing with Pa Kent. Maybe that hits a little bit differently now, and you finally understand.
Robert Meyer Burnett, in his own tweets, I don't know if you went and read the comments under it, but actually had somebody push back because he said people couldn't relate to Henry Cavill as Superman.
And he was like, what did you relate with? Or something.
Yeah,
like,
and then the guy goes off. He goes, I don't know, having power and not being able to use it, knowing what's right, but it being difficult to commit to it, you know, feeling alien, you know, feeling out of place, having to find your own path, having to live up to expectations that seem unfair, like this laundry list of things. Crickets, no comment. I was like, it was a great pushback.
He said, what was the Captain America movie original title? Every time about the first film, it was Captain America: The First Avenger. That one was done by Joe Johnston, if I'm not mistaken, the guy that directed Rocketeer, right? Mm-hmm. See how they were getting quality filmmakers in phase one.
Bro, I love that movie, The Rocketeer. That doesn't get enough. That's a fun movie.
Hey, know? Right. I mean,
it's like an oldie, but
ain't gotta be the greatest movie, but it's fun, right? But yeah. But if we're talking about Civil War, the original title was Serpent Society. That is what the movie was supposed to be. That is what it was going to be. That is why in Captain America: Brave New World, the villain is from the Serpent Society. This was leftover stuff, probably from that third movie, because of the fact that, that is 100%. And it would make sense with it being right after Winter Soldier. They were going to keep going down that path with it being like a spy thriller. But nope. Mm-hmm. They said, hey, we got this BVS script, time to change up. But
I never understood the tonal shift in Civil War. For Captain America has lived a life of sacrifice. He understands, his whole argument is about doing what's right. And you get to the part with Bucky and you're like, he's saving him from the
throws
government.
all that shit out the
yeah. And that was just, it always kind of sat with me weird. Yeah, especially considering the dynamic between him and Tony Stark, you know.
Yeah. Civil War, that had so many problems for me, and you could tell that they kind of threw the story together quickly. I hated Baron Zemo. I felt like his entire plan kind of relied on things that he wouldn't have had any kind of knowledge of. Like, it's like so much of your plans hinged on them doing the Sokovia Accords. Like, did you have anything to do with that? You know, they didn't go into that. And like, there's all types of plot holes. And then, hey, why is this random camera out on some dirt road in the middle of the night? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? like all these things. And yeah, you're right. The whole Bucky thing. It's like, you know, why would you make that change so suddenly with that character? You know, that movie had a few problems.
Yeah.
But hey, it was all cool because Spider-Man was in it. You were just making a point before though. What was it? Because I just wanted to touch back on that because it was something that you said that was pretty dope.
I don't remember.
Oh my God.
Help us chat. Right.
What were we talking about? Because Andy just said something that I wanted to touch on again. That was dope. Yeah, I honestly just don't really see
I think we were talking about the time difference between appreciation and, like, you know, how long it took people to warm up to like Henry Cavill. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Because the 10-year thing, people grow into this stuff. And that's also why I want to kind of touch on why this whole shit is stupid with people talking about the Zach's movies not being profitable, right? They've made so much money off of just toys, toys, right? They continue to sell out as soon as they go on sale every single time. Right. All these things sell out. Right. And they're not Like nothing that is not of relevance moves like that when it goes on sale. You know, like you can't even get Guardians of the Galaxy figures to sell out like that.
You can't. And like, again, I don't understand why people look. Guardians of the Galaxy is good, but if we're being 100% honest, it hugely was aided by the fact that, dude, Chris Pratt was him for a couple years there. Like, bro, like he was beloved. Everything he was making was just crushing it. You know, that's him at his, you know, his most prattiest. And I think that so much of that first Guardians film was people were like, dude, Andy Dwyer can act. Like, they really liked him. The balance between sincerity and comedy, like almost all the things they say that they love about how this narrative that James Gunn can write sincere, heartfelt, most of that is Chris Pratt emoting on screen because it's not there in Peacemaker. Like, and John Cena is funny, but it's not heartfelt. It's silly, you know?
Yeah. And I think a lot of that too came from Nicole Perlman's her contributions to that first script, That's like when you think about it, a lot of her contributions are what was dope about the movie. The opening scene with his mom and the first scene on Morag and all that, right? All these things were happening, and then it's like those are kind of the cool parts or like the best parts of that movie. You know?
I agree.
And it just goes to show that
you know what's
wait,
I don't think
quick.
any
Oh,
sorry, go ahead.
Oh no. Go ahead, because I was gonna
I saw you have a super chat.
Answer a question. Yeah.
I was just gonna say so much of what's going on with the damn, I forgot it. Go ahead.
Oh, real quick. Jamar says, does anyone think that there will be a 10-year appreciation for Disney Star Wars the same way the prequels did? No.
Not at all.
No.
Because they were a teardown. They didn't add anything to the lore. They didn't create anything of value.
Yeah. Right. See, like when I was younger, the prequels came out. I had already been like a hardcore Star Wars fan because of my dad, so I was super into the movies and I read a few of the books. And I was super into Star Wars, right? And so when the prequels came out, I was a little kid, or I was younger rather, and I liked the second two. I didn't really like the first one, but it came around later because hey, some people that hadn't really seen it kind of grew up and then they experienced it, and then a lot of the older fans were able to kind of appreciate it a little bit more just a while after that. The sequel trilogy, this is different because as I was talking about the other day, I really enjoyed episode 7. I really did. And I think that when you look at the Star Wars fan base as a whole, it was in a great space after episode 7. It did not matter what you felt about how it might have been, hey, would they rushed killing Han or they didn't get the reunion or whatever. Look, I kind of blame Harrison Ford on like, I know that he was only going to come back and shoot that movie if they were going to kill Han Solo. So how you going to, and the original idea was to have each of the 3 members kind of get their own film kind of, right? Like Han was going to be focused on in episode 7. Luke was going to be focused on Han was 7, Luke was 8, and Leia was 9. That was the OG plan. That's what they were gonna do. And like, hey, if they felt that, hey, not rushing the reunion back because they had to get rid of Han was the best idea, I can't really say that they were wrong. But where I can say that they were wrong is what they did after episode 7, because that divided the fan base forever. That film will be the dividing factor of that franchise for all time. No question.
Absolutely. It broke people. It was
broke me.
You've never seen, and it's like the guy who does the Star Killer stuff. I always forget his name, but the guy's like a lore historian for Star Wars, and in the nicest way possible. Like I think it's like I can't remember. But he's like, dude, just that's not what people think Luke does. Like, Luke doesn't
Not at
come
all.
back from saving his father, the most evil man in the galaxy, and then
And
trying
you
to
the
kill
only
his
one
nephew.
that believe in him. You the only one that believe in this dude.
But trying to kill his nephew because he had a bad dream? Are you
Because he had
fucking
some
kidding
bad
me?
dreams.
You got a nightmare. Kill this kid quick. It's like, what are you
I keep having
fucking
these
talking-
nightmares. Like, what? It doesn't
No
make any
compassion.
sense, bro.
It
Shout out to the
just-
Curly Ray with the $5 super chat saying, I've been showing friends of mine that are around my age that never really watched Zack Snyder films, and they have been loving them. See, that's what I mean, bro. Like, it's all about having these discussions, watching the films, and then talking about them, right? Let me go ahead and hit you with this drop real quick, and then we'll be right back.
Do you think James Gunn can reboot the DC universe properly?
Does this answer your question?
Oh my gosh. James Gunn, James Gunn, James Gunn, James Gunn, James Gunn, James Gunn, James Gunn. Woo!
That onesie wouldn't even fit on my thigh, dog.
Does this answer your question, bro? Oh my god.
That's that Harry Sisson energy, dude. Like, and also that's another thing we are dealing with. If you don't realize that the studios realize there's value in propping up fake influencers, then you're crazy. Like, everything is compromised. They know that fake word of mouth sells, but now people are very aware that it's fake. And so they don't know what to do because real fans spot it a mile away. Because again, if you're paid to say stuff, if you're saying stuff for clout or access, you have no opinion, and you get asked one question and people are like, like ask those guys like, okay, name a non-superhero film that James Gunn made, and they'd be like,
PG porn, right?
Yep.
Right. Hold on.
Movie 43. Loved it. It was a perfect film.
Zod brings up a great point. He says Superman and Lois grew on people too. Gunn knows it's going to take time for the general audience to warm up to Corn Sweat. Let me tell you something, bro. Because one of the, I be having people out there that be getting the word on the street, right? And one of those people has been my mom. Right, she's been like my barometer for a lot of this stuff. Yo, hold on, Andy. I'm gonna tell you in the back chat what the word on the street at my mom's job is about this Superman movie, right? But not only that, she told me to quote her on this part, right? Because she was talking about how she's not like physically attracted to David Corn Sweat, right? You hear that, right?
Yeah,
Andy, right? No, she 100% says, she swears on everything. That is the word around her office.
Like a total meatball, bro.
Yeah, like that is exactly what they've been saying. Like,
bro,
no chaser, just like that. Like that is exactly what they've been saying, right? But yeah, no, like she said that I can quote her on this part because she was speaking about how David Corn Sweat has no sex appeal. Bruh, my mom said, and I swear to God, I'm not making this shit up. She said she'd rather go with Steve Buscemi than David Corn Sweat. Bro, I was damn near crying.
I think as well.
She said Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi.
She said I would rather go with Steve Buscemi, bro.
You're gonna go home for Thanksgiving, and Steve Buscemi is gonna be your stepdad. You'd be like, "Mom, we weren't joking."
Bro, she was like, "What's that guy from Armageddon's name that went crazy with and he was shooting everything?" And I was like, "Steve Buscemi."
Oh my gosh.
Yo, I swear to God, bro. I swear to God, bro. She said Steve Buscemi. I was like, what the fuck, bro?
Damn.
She said the guy from Armageddon that went crazy with the guns. I was like, are you talking about Steve Buscemi right now? She was like, yes. Oh my God, that is hilarious, bro. Yes, Steve Buscemi. Right. But Andy, I want to play a couple videos from you from some more Snyder cultists, and I'll get your thoughts afterwards.
I like as much as I like Superman versus Batman. All right, I like when they do the comic book stuff, and as much as like, you know, the people can fly and they're fucking the size of an ant and shit like that, the more reality that they bring into it, the more grounded that they keep it, the more I like it. And I know Superman versus fucking Batman, they're like, Jesus, how many people did they fucking kill? That never entered my mind. I didn't give a shit. They're like, they did billions of dollars worth of damage. Who gives a fuck? My favorite thing was they were saying that superhero can't be out there acting unilaterally. Like they didn't like that Superman was going around just helping everybody, regardless of whether they would trade with the United States or not. And I just love that the United States felt that they could claim Superman. It was fucked up. I guess he got adopted by United States parents and he did get a free education. Yeah, what the fuck are you doing? You know what? I stand by the American government on that one. No, but the more that they can bring in like the just the real world reality, I think that shit's.
Damn, that's awesome.
Hey, wait, but there's one more, bro. I want you to go ahead and check this out too.
Did his eyes go cockeyed? What's wrong with his eyes? His eyes don't look right.
It's also his jaw. That's what we point out on our stream. His jaw's a different shape because of the lens angle, you know. People do not like that lens anymore. Just like, again, this is going to get people so heated, but because it's not like Zack Snyder owns slow motion. But you know how now people will sit there anytime they see slow motion, that's become like the cast off, remark that people make about Snyder. Even though it's like, Bay uses it's just, I was just watching Gladiator 2 and Ridley Scott's using slow motion. And that fish angle, it's not fish, it's like wide angle lens, that's become a thing that general audiences see and they're sick of it. And they say, not for me. And again, Warner Brothers didn't pick up the memo. They didn't read into that. And so even people like Tyrone Magnus, like, bro, what the fuck is this guy's deal?
Right. Can you touch on that first video from Bill Burr, right? From Bill Burr, the known Snyder cultist, please.
Oh, dude. Well, we also have to remember that Bill Burr, not only a Snyder cultist, an alt-right extremist, a racist. What
I actually side with the American government on that one, right?
Yeah.
Which is actually a pretty funny joke. It's like, yo, you fucking grew up here.
Yeah.
You go to school here, get an education, and then you're out there acting unilaterally against our interests.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny. I hated that whole thing about this idea that there should be no collateral damage. And it just makes me think that the people talking on the internet about this stuff now, again, they haven't read the comics where people get hurt and die. I mean, how many iterations of comics has Superman failed to save Lois? Like, I mean, and that was in the Christopher Reeve one, like where Lois dies. So this weird inability to deal with death. And then it's about scale. It's about bringing it to the big screen. But it reminds me of, do you remember in Dragon Ball Z? It's like, let's go somewhere unpopulated. Like, you got to always find somewhere unpopulated.
Yep.
To go fight. It's
which is why they did that in BVS too. Facts.
Yeah. And it's, dude, do you remember when Vegeta said fuck it and he blew out like half of the World Martial Arts Tournament stage just to show people he didn't give a shit? Yeah.
Yep.
But my point is, it's like they've regressed to a point where they can't understand that this particular film is to show what these characters look like in non-ideal circumstances. Man of Steel, it's a non-idolized version that Superman is coming up in. Batman versus Superman. Batman has had a non-ideal run of things. And I don't get why that's so hard to understand, because if you claim, because they always hide behind, in the comics, you would understand there's Elseworlds. There's also just comics where people die. There's just, I mean, it's just part of it. And then secondly, I mean, dude, we talked about earlier, Tim Burton's Batman. The idea that Batman never murders. Bro, Tim Burton's Batman killed several people.
Several.
Like, remember
with
the guy
fucking
with the
smile
bomb on the
his face,
chest?
bro.
Yeah,
Bruh,
like,
he put a bomb in a dude's belt and
Yep.
kicked him down a fucking
Yeah.
well or something, like some type of manhole. You know what I mean? Come on now.
You know, I actually think that. So I always said Man of Steel was 10 years too early, but now Warner Brothers has still found a way to be 10 years too late because they're trying to do what worked at Marvel at a time when everything tells you it doesn't work at Marvel anymore.
Yeah.
Dude, Marvel's panicked. Dude, Captain America 4 is about to be a problem. Thunderbolts is about to be a problem. Realistically, like,
Yeah.
and I love
think
the Fantastic
Thunderbolts
Four.
is the real issue. I think Thunderbolts is the real issue. I think that movie's gonna.
I just don't think people care about Marvel anymore.
Yeah.
Like, and it's because they've gotten so used to seeing it on Disney Plus. Like, you know, you want to sell people on Sam Wilson as Captain America, don't give him a show first. Put him in the big screen. Give him a chance to succeed as a cinematic. But we all know that TV is less than cinema. We can all agree that, right? So when you see WandaVision, you know that that's less than getting your own theatric release. We all know that Secret Invasion was less than. And just kind of like they did with Star Wars, dude.
Like up and down, man. Bruh,
nobody wants to see
Secret
Star Wars.
Invasion. Oh my god, I forgot about that show.
But you know what I'm saying? And so part of the problem is Marvel's making films based on when it was easy. And let's be honest, there was a time when Marvel could like get away with murder. Like they took advantage with Captain Marvel, like telling people that you needed to see that film to understand Endgame. And in reality, if they had just
they kind of burned the people, man.
Burned the people. If they had just had Captain Marvel show up and save Tony Stark, people are like, whoa, who's this badass character? That would have been a way better intro than this whole convoluted, you know, story of her.
They should have made that a Black Widow movie. I will say that until the day I die. That should have been a Black Widow movie. You were going to kill her in Endgame anyway. It makes no sense. You have that movie be there. But then also, like they were saying, they were trying to compete with Wonder Woman at the time. That's really why that was the one instead of because it was like, oh my god, because Wonder Woman was killing shit at that time. Yo, that movie was off the chain. Anyway,
but dude, how did Warner Brothers follow up Wonder Woman? This unmitigated success, this like thing that they had no idea was going to be so successful. They followed up with 1984. Just like the history tells you, Warner Brothers will find a way to fuck shit up, you know.
But according to Robert Meyer Burnett, they didn't do anything wrong. So I'm sorry.
That's amazing. They didn't do anything right either.
But then you admit that, oh my, bro, how did you forget that video existed, bro?
Because
how did you?
They don't care. I don't think these people care.
Bro, how do you, as a person, forget that you got on the internet and said the exact opposite? Right? Like you literally got on the internet and said the exact opposite, and then now you're sitting there, oh, take me seriously. Oh my god, man.
It's all that palling around John Campea.
I see why y'all are on your way out of this damn system and why nobody listen to y'all no more. I get it. I totally get it. Right. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on to this final topic. Right. Look, man, and this is just me being petty. I can't lie. But is this movie gonna see the light of day, bro? Because they can still shelve it. It's not too late, bro. They can still shelve the movie.
I don't think they'll cancel it, but you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking they say we need to see that Gunn cut, you know, even though he runs the studio, they're
gonna be like, release the Gunn cut, bro.
It's like you did, like if it doesn't live up to what you know, they've said it's gonna be good because Gunn's in complete control of the studio, and I maintain, you know, I don't actually believe that. I do not think that's true. I actually, when I was talking to I can't remember who I was talking to, I said I actually think what happened is he has control, but they told him you will not touch outside of Superman. You can't touch. Like I don't think he will cast a super Wonder Woman or a Batman. I don't think that they're sold on that yet. And I think this whole thing is because Warner Brothers is going to sell again, and they need to generate enough hype to make people think that you can still make money from the DC. Yeah. And I like. but it
Bro,
would
the
be.
Gunn cut is Andy. That might have been your greatest contribution to
There we
this
go.
movie ever.
Now
Said
I
it'll
expect
be released
all the
again.
Ayer cut people to tell me that they want to see that Gunn cut.
Artistic integrity, bro. He was like, bro, he was the fucking head of DC Studios, though.
Yeah, but you
They
don't
were like,
understand,
no,
bro.
You don't understand.
He didn't get to cook. That's not his film.
Right? He didn't even want the underwear. Right? Yeah. He told you he didn't even want the underwear. That was
nobody
David
talks about
Cornsway.
that. That's Cornsway. Cornsway hijacked this fucking film, and now I feel bad for James Gunn. Let's hashtag release the Gunn cut and see what happens. Dude, what do you think happens? That would actually be hilarious. Because people would jump on it because they see Gunn and be like, oh, yeah.
Release the Gunn cut. Oh my god, bro. That's what they're gonna say, dog. They're gonna be like, it's not his movie, I promise. There's a better movie. They go, bruh. No. He said, I heard Skywalker say, do my DualShock plans on getting out of YouTube. Is that really true? What? Who getting out of YouTube?
I think when you said about like the like legacy people, why they're getting out of there.
Oh, yeah. No, I see why they're on their way out, bro. Like, no, I wasn't talking about us. I'm talking about them. Like, yo, y'all some wanderers with no kingdom, man. It's just like his shit is crazy. Y'all just out here twerking. You know what I mean? Twerking.
Well, that's the last thing they have is the access. Because on entertainment, bro, we all know I'd rather talk to my friend. Dude, that's why I got on YouTube was I wanted to make friends who were as interested in this stuff as like you are. But like some of my friends like this stuff, but like not like you like it. Not
you
like
can't have these kind of conversations, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like nothing against my, friends that I hang out with, but we talk sports, we talk other stuff. But this weird nerdy shit we do, like
it's totally
autistic thing we do where we talk 3 hours about like 3 seconds of film.
The intricacies of BBS, right? Like
my normal friends don't fuck with that. They're like, Andy, what's wrong? You need to get diagnosed.
Right? Yeah. No, I was the same way, bro. With all my friends, and y'all think that this is just like how I am on YouTube. No, I was the Zack Snyder cut guy. Like all my homies knew. We be talking about some movies. We talking about DMC. I'm like, yo, but what y'all really don't know, I'll fuck y'all up is that Snyder cut. And they're like, oh my god, here we go again. It's about this mythical movie, right? That's gonna come out. That's so different. I'm like, yes, bro.
Do you remember in Talladega Nights when they're like, hey, Ricky, remember when we got kicked out of class for playing with Matchbox? Who's retarded now? That's right. Like, every one of us was at some point having people look at us like, man, they care so much. Are they retarded? What's wrong with them?
Right. For sure. And it's just definitely one of those things where, we are here to have these kind of conversations and to keep these kind of things going forward because it's something that we're passionate for. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I don't think, like I said, I don't hop in a Denis Villeneuve fan thread and start talking shit because people think that he's the best director ever. I don't do that. Yeah. Like, why would I do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I do that?
Have you ever seen anybody try and manufacture hate against that dude? It's so pathetic. They're like, he cares too much about the cinematography, and people are like, well, I mean, movies are a visual medium, so that's like a weird that's a weird fucking criticism. It was too beautiful. Every shot was like a still frame of like a work of art, and I don't know why he does that. By the way, robbed, not even nominated for best director. Can you believe that shit?
Look, hey, I don't understand. I don't know what the criteria is. I actually have a stream coming up on that. We're gonna talk about that because and you got to watch that one, Andy, because that was gonna be crazy. That was gonna be crazy. It's actually the next night shift. But the Oscars, I'm not really sure what's going on there. I do know this, right? Like, even with Denny, I thought Dune 1 was better than 2. Right?
But Dune 2 has less competition this year, though.
Right? No. I was just saying that to say I'm not gonna jump in a thread with somebody that liked Dune 2 more. I mean, it's just not that serious to me. And I actually really love his films, but that's not a conversation that's worth entertaining for me for like that long. Like, I'm not gonna fucking argue, right? But somebody talking about the Snyderverse for 10 years, dog, and they sitting here like still trying to convince you, oh my God, these movies are more successful today. The Superman's gonna be better, blah, 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 blah. Why won't y'all go support this movie? Look, I still want them to kind of shelve it. I want this shit shelved. I ain't even gonna front. Like, I don't even, bro, could you imagine?
Just the comedy of it. And I'm sorry, I don't think I ever answered Curly Ray's thing. Like, I don't know if they'd like, I just think it'd be funny to push the whole, restore the Gunn verse. That'd be hilarious. But, dude, this is it. Like, and again, I remember watching, we talked, like Film Threat mentioned this might be it for Warner Brothers. And even though that wasn't my opinion, people hated that opinion. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Dude, have you heard how many people now in the mainstream and the access media are straight up saying that if Superman doesn't do well, like Warner Brothers is going under? Like, everything rides on this film. And it kind of makes sense why maybe they're a little bit nervous. Maybe Zaslav's looking here and being like, maybe we've poisoned the well. We've told so many of our paying customers to fuck off over the past decade that we might not have a fan base to come out to. And the second, dude, by the way, how does this succeed just from a logic perspective? If you think that the reason James Gunn's going to crush it is because he crushed it at the MCU, but you acknowledge he's not, but then you say, okay, but he can't do what he did at Marvel and have it. He's not, and then people say, but he's not going to do what he did at Marvel. Then he's going to disappoint the people that should be coming over from Marvel, correct?
It makes no sense, bro.
And then if he does, you're going to disappoint the DC fans who are like, I didn't want to see that. Like, I want a different take on this. I don't want a Marvelized DCU.
Nobody does, man. Matter of fact, Zach was the one that said, hey, like, because when everybody over there was pushing him to make that shit more MCU, like, he was like, yo, we can't do that. Can't do that. Real quick, let me even bring this up real quick, because I brought this up the other day, but I don't think I ever discussed it. Right? But this is crazy. Wait, was it this one first? Okay, yeah. Right. James, now this is after Martin Scorsese said what he said about Marvel movies, right? When he had his criticism and he said, hey, they're kind of like theme park rides, which is actually a great analogy, by the way.
Yeah. He's
like, yo, they're fun while you're on them, but once you go home, it's kind of like, all right, that's over, right? Yep. He said, James Gunn on Martin Scorsese's criticism of superhero movies. Coming out against Marvel is the only thing that would get him pressed for his movie. He's creating his movie in the shadow of Marvel. He uses that to get attention for something he wasn't getting much attention for. Now, that is James Gunn's response to Martin Scorsese, one of the GOATs, right? Unquestioned. Unquestioned.
Scorsese, because I think a lot of great directors are falling off. Like, I'm a huge Ridley Scott fan, but I was talking the other day, I'm like, I don't know what's going on, dude. It just seems like kind of like Harrison Ford. I'm a huge Harrison Ford fan, but it just seems like he's at that point in his career where he's just taking money, doing anything. Scorsese feels like the one guy who's still doing what he thinks is artistically right, you know? I just think that's a weird take. And I will say the reason I brought up Captain America 4 is Disney shot that film in the face when they started reshooting, when all the press came out, because like you said, they burned the audience. I just got burned. I don't know if you saw Craven. Craven was, in my opinion, disgraceful. Like, it was an unfinished film. They literally have a still shot where they CGI a mouth moving and eyes blinking on a still frame, my guy, because they didn't want to bring the actors back. Now you see that, and that to me says that's a disrespect to the audience. How are you charging $20 for this? That's disrespectful. That's an unfinished product. They've done that so much, but people were defending it like, wait till it comes out, spend money, don't talk shit. And now, just like with Captain America 4, everything that Disney has said is that this was an afterthought, that they haven't really given, they thought it was going to be easy, I guess. And so when you hear that there's not enough action, when they have to fire the director, all you want is Disney to come out and give you like an answer for like, hey, what's going on with this film? Like, give us a reason to believe it. But they keep doing kind of what the Superman teaser's doing, of showing the same couple clips of action. And then you hear that maybe the Red Hulk's only going to be in it for 5 minutes. Maybe the Red Hulk is supposed to be Trump. Like, all these things. It's just in a precarious position. And look how Disney's trying to walk back that actually the budget's not that big. Actually, it's, you know, all these excuses for why it's not that big of a disaster if it doesn't make money. And you look at Superman, they've been doing that since day one, trying to control these narratives. And so I'm like, if we can all agree that regardless of the quality of Captain America 4 when it comes out, Disney's obviously worried about that and Thunderbolts and just their future. Dude, then what's going on with Warner Brothers? Because they look terrified. They look so afraid to let anybody talk about this movie unless you say, I can't wait to see this movie. I'm going to go see it a dozen times.
Yeah, shit's crazy, man. It's crazy. And yes, Apple Kicks. This is Andy from Hold My DualShock.
Yes,
stopping
sir.
through. It said, whoa, cool. All right. Yeah, dope. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, that is absolutely true, man. I think that these conversations have been very dangerous for this film. You know, and I have a stream where I'm going to discuss this coming up on Sunday where we're going to really delve into a lot of the MCU stuff. But they're in a much better position, which is so crazy because every time it seems like Marvel is on the ropes, and if you look at this historically, you'll see that I'm right. Every time that Marvel has had a chance to be overtaken by Warner Brothers has just punted the ball on third down.
Yep.
Every single time. That's
sometimes
why
on second down.
Bruh, that's why you can't convince me that this shit is not on purpose. Right? Yeah. Like if every single and I will go back to this. 2017, 2016, that lineup that they had over there was spooky in terms of filmmakers and actors from top to bottom. It was A-list talent.
Yeah.
Oscar-winning directors.
Dude, look at what they did to Wonder Woman.
Actors.
Dude, Wonder Woman, do you remember people were talking about all the bigots and how nobody would support a female superhero? And then Wonder Woman proved everybody wrong, where people are like, see, bro, people will show up for a female superhero if it's done right. And then you make a sequel that
No
does
Man's Land scene, bro, that No Man's Land scene was so powerful. And it is actually the difference between that scene and the montage in Captain Marvel. I think if you look at those two scenes explain exactly why Wonder Woman worked and why Captain Marvel didn't. Because that No Man's Land scene gives me chills just thinking about that shit. Like, that was an incredible scene. That's like one of the top moments in the whole DCEU, period.
Yep. And then how do you follow it up? It looks like they fell asleep watching Thor Ragnarok, and they said we should do that too, and it flopped. I mean, dude, look at the difference between Aquaman, the first one, and the second one.
Andy, I didn't see 84 again until I was in a hospital recently, and I didn't have anything to watch. I was just watching shit.
And you almost died for him.
That movie is, pretty much. That movie is so bad, bro. Actually, my fucking thing kept going off. The nurse kept having it just boop, boop, boop. I'm just sitting there watching this shit. Right? Life is good, but it could be more. Boop,
dude.
Boop, boop, boop. Like,
nobody in that film does a good job
playing A Beautiful Lie at the end of the fucking movie for boop, 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 boop. I'm just like, yo, bro. Oh my God, bro. What is going on? Right? So yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, look at Suicide Squad to The Suicide Squad.
Yep.
Right? It's just like everything that was successful, they butchered it. You can't tell me that this shit wasn't on purpose, man. Like, there's no way that these things just happen by by happenstance or by coincidence. We just happen to make every single wrong choice that led to Marvel being able to dominate the market for another 10 years.
Yep. Not to mention, like, you watch I know people say that after the cancellation, that Gunn didn't have his hands in anything, I reject that premise. I can see
somebody said that in here earlier. It was like, oh, he didn't have anything to do with the Flash and Aquaman. I'm like, man,
first,
bullshit.
that's not true. He said he was overlooking stuff and giving the final sign off. I can see the scenes he wrote in the Flash. I can
the whole
feel
tooth coming out.
Oh,
George Clooney,
Double Barry peeking around the corner. The cut to the scene where he's sawing the bat helmet, it looks like a scene out of Super. Like, it's the way it's shot. It's like it's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be quirky. Bullshit, It's
yep. Oh, that is true, J-Mar. WB did want to cut that No Man's Land scene, and that's the best part in the whole damn movie.
By a lot,
bro. I damn near jumped out my seat in the theater when she was like, just real quick. That's why Wonder Woman worked and Captain Marvel didn't. Wonder Woman, when that No Man's Land scene happens, right? You can understand why Steve Trevor is saying what he's saying. He's like, yo, we're helping, but we're helping like doing this. And he thinks that she's just naive and she doesn't understand how this works. So he's trying to convey to her like, yo, we are helping. Even though it may not seem like we're helping, what we are doing actually is helping.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, since you know that Steve Trevor's words are coming from a genuine place, when she makes the choice to do her own thing, it's so much more fucking powerful.
Yeah. When she's superhuman, it's like you have a man who hit the best of his abilities telling you what he thinks they can do. And then you let the superhero do superhero shit without ever disrespecting and saying, oh, you're a piece of shit.
Because she just said no. Because she's like, yo, we're not going to do this. And she's like, but it's what I'm going to do. I was like, oh, shit.
Puts the team on her back,
Right. And then went to work.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That movie is so dope, man.
It would have been funny. It's an epic scene, bro.
Right. And then when you look at Captain Marvel, it's a montage of men just telling her that she can't do things because she's a woman. And I've been in some of these situations, right? Because I was in the military. And I'm like, people don't really talk to women like that in the military, bro. Like, it's called the cockpit for a reason. I'm like, bro, are you fucking serious? Is that what you think men talk like all the time?
These people have never talked to a man.
You know what I'm saying? But hey, we are about to start closing this thing on out, man, because I gotta get on out of here. But final thoughts, man, on this whole situation. You can touch on the earlier parts of the stream if you want to or not. But it's all up to you. What's your final thoughts as we close this thing on out, Andy?
Thanks for doing this. This was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for letting me run my mouth for so much time. Dude, I think that this separates the men from boys, the real fans from people who are, consumers, because no matter what happens, we're having a great time talking about it, and it kills people. It kills people that we can be talking and having a good time and critiquing stuff. And I think, like your little Chiron says, if there's any chance that this film doesn't see the light of the day, that would be the funniest.
Oh my God, bro.
That's like when Leslie Knope in Parks and Rec's filibusters herself. Like, that would be hilarious to do this DCU reboot, but then to shelve the first thing. And I actually think that would tell you a lot. I don't think they'll do it, but in a alternate reality, I could actually see WB doing that, and it would almost be the perfect representation of just how cynical WB is. And it would be the last bastion or the last group of people who still believe that WB has any care about what the fans want, So
Yeah, man. I think that this movie has a great chance of coming out. Obviously, I just think it'll be the funniest shit ever if it doesn't. If this shit gets the Batgirl treatment, that's what I say. If they shelve a $363 million movie, which don't let them lie to you, this movie cost $363 million, y'all.
Yep.
I don't care what they try to say. They be like, oh no,
By the way,
no.
You know why? And I think that's it's the same thing you're seeing at Disney right now. For years, they had a bunch of shills saying the more you spend on something, the better. And all of a sudden they started flopping. So they wanted you to believe that they spent a lot of money. They let that narrative be out there for almost a year. And then now that people are not happy, they're trying to walk it back because they don't want it, because they know that people are going to be like, wow, this thing might flop.
Right. Nah,
you heard the people trying to say that 500 million would be a success?
Bro, look, I'm not listening to those people, man, because they're out there. Because, like, it would have all been for nothing.
Yep.
If you go out there and this thing doesn't even make Man of Steel numbers, which I don't think it is. I do not think it's going to reach Man of Steel at all.
Yep.
What was the whole point of this thing?
Especially if you take Man of Steel with inflation, which is like just under $1 billion.
No, we're not even going to do that.
But just the 600, yeah.
We ain't even going to do that, right? We ain't even going to adjust for inflation, nothing. Right? Because, yo, this shit ain't looking too good, dog. This shit ain't looking too good. July 11th is definitely D-Day, right? And look, just in general, I think that this lawsuit, I hope it gets worked out. If it don't, you know what I mean? Right? So, if it doesn't, if it doesn't get worked out, hey, it is what it is, right? But I'm pretty sure the cooler heads will probably prevail, just because I don't want to have to get I don't want to go too far, you know what I'm saying, and start talking too crazy. But I'm just saying, because this guy's name is on all these lists and stuff, and what are you gonna do? Like, all right, just think about that. If they have to distance James Gunn from this film, can they put it out? Because it's not an Ezra Miller situation. This is the fucking director. He's the head of DC Studios. So let's even say that people get a whiff of like what this guy's track record is like, and they no longer, because this could easily become a thing. You don't know, man. 2025, it seems to be up for a lot of these people that once might have thought that they were untouchable before, right? So if this turns into a situation where they can't have him doing press for it, how do they put the movie out?
Yeah. And by the way, if they have to, like, I do think they'll sell this, but if they have to delay an international release, oh, bro, look what it did to Sonic. God. Look what it did to Sonic.
Right? Hey, we're going to see.
Look what it did to Black Adam. Shit, what am I talking about? Like, we saw what it did to Black Adam.
Yeah. Right? We going to see. We going to see. Because these type of things are definitely on the table. And hold on, let me bring this up one more time before we get out of here, just because y'all know how petty I am. I'm sorry, but kind of got to do it. WB didn't mess up, y'all. WB did not do anything wrong. I want you guys to remember that. Okay? WB definitely didn't fuck up at all.
Toby Emmerich, he doesn't want the Snyder Cut to succeed. He wishes it would just go away. I can't even imagine what it's like to get the Snyder Cut made if you're Toby Emmerich and watch this thing happening, because basically what the Snyder Cut is, it basically says everyone who worked at everyone at the highest levels of Warner Brothers that worked on Justice League at the time, the Justice League that was released, is a fucking idiot. Now, because they caused that all to happen. They didn't want to push their release date. They fucked Zack Snyder at every turn, because after Man of Steel came out, everybody was Monday morning quarterbacking and everybody wanted to change this and change that. They're looking at the dailies and they're like, oh, well, I mean, this isn't the light and lively movie that we thought we were going to get, and blah, blah, blah. This is a studio thing. The studio really messed up. They really messed up. And they did it to somebody they had a long-standing relationship with, which was even worse. But anyway, be that as it may, It was all about money and compensation, and also Toby Emmerich wasn't about to step in and help out. He wants the Snyder Cut to disappoint. He wants to be able to say, see, we were right. We were right. Because if he doesn't, the Snyder Cut will always exist as a pox on his house, as a thing that says, we fucked up and you knew best and we didn't. And studio executives never like that, because usually when you make some kind of an epic failure like that, that's what everyone's scared of, is that you're gone. But if this comes out and everybody loves it and it becomes a critical darling, and by the way, you know, assuming people, you know, really, really love this, who knows where it's going to go? Look what The Mandalorian led to.
Embarrassing.
Andy, can you get any more clear cut than that, bro? I'm sorry. Like,
what's crazy is if you've seen him recently, the way he talks now is completely different.
Damn, bro.
And, you know, I'll be honest, like, let me play devil's advocate. I think a lot of these legacy studio types, like people that have been, I think they feel the writing on the wall that Hollywood's about to end. I think they're panicked. I think you saw that quote from Tarantino recently about what the fuck is even a point of making a movie anymore. It's on streaming in 14 days. I think to a lot of people, these films that are bad, they are afraid to say are bad because they know they're selling bad product. But once the fucking money stops, it's all over. And I think we're close. Like, they've just taken advantage for too long.
Yeah, most definitely. And the chickens are coming home to roost. But nah, man, you want to let the people know about what you got coming up next. Andy from HMDS, Hold My Dual Shock. Y'all be sure to go on over there and give them a subscribe. Make sure to wait. Can we get somebody to put a link to the channel in the chat, please? Thank you guys.
So yeah, we're around. We're around. You'll see us around. We bother people on these type of streams, but we have this Sunday. We just put out a fucking video about this exact topic. It's not going to make a lot of people happy because we poke some fun at this stuff, but Kitty's telling me we just dropped the video. That's what she was doing. She wanted to be here, but she was editing her little heart out. And then
shout out to Katie and Peter. Shout out to Peter, yo.
Oh, dude, Peter's in the doghouse. Don't even talk about Peter right now. And then on Sunday, we're doing a Severance stream. If you guys have not watched Severance, go watch Severance. It is such a good show. It's so nice to be able to watch something and enjoy it. So yeah, we're going to talk about Severance.
All right, cool. Yeah. Wait. Let me get a little bit of a spoiler. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
On Severance?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, all the thumbs up.
Okay.
Season 1's phenomenal. If you like trippy, slightly sci-fi, like, I think you'd really like it. It's going to get your brain cranking.
Bruh, I like Scavenger's Reign, so...
Oh, then you'll love this. Dude, Scavenger's Reign is amazing, huh?
That shit's fucking trippy as shit.
It's less trippy than Scavenger's Reign, but it's still disconcerting.
Yeah.
You'll like it.
Yeah. No, I can't wait, man. Y'all going over there and give them a subscribe, please. I will be, just watch this channel, watch this platform. Make sure you guys are subbed and you got the notification bell hit. We will be having some more fun streams. We got cartoons and cereal in the morning. We'll be watching Yu-Gi-Oh! And I actually be doing a giveaway. This is my second giveaway. So make sure y'all tune in to cartoons and cereal tomorrow morning. You got to be on live and leave a comment, and that's how you enter. And I will be giving away 2 prizes tomorrow on cartoons and cereal. Very, very excited. So we're gonna be rocking out watching some Yu-Gi-Oh! You know what I'm saying, on cartoons and cereal in the morning. We got the MCU stream coming up on Sunday. Probably got the night shift coming on Monday. This is the thing, Bat Dan. I was waiting to get all of the stuff for the giveaway, and I'm gonna do an unboxing as well, live on stream. And I was waiting on everything. I got everything. It's right over there. I'm looking dead at it right now. Mm-hmm. So they're in my possession. I have the items, and yeah, we're gonna rock out. But yeah, just watch this space because it's gonna be a lot of stuff coming up, a lot of dope conversations. I'm about to try to convince Andy to do something after the stream too. So can't wait. Yeah, we rocking out. You dig? 214 coming soon. Right? Yeah. Oh yeah, look. Much love, y'all. Much love, y'all. Much love, y'all. Yeah, we about to rock out. We about to be getting on out of here. We will see you guys soon. Y'all have a good one, and we'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.
For sure.